So, World of Tanks Blitz is having an update, a port, a rework, a reforge. Now, while I've been one of the first people to not like this whole idea, I have eventually changed my mind now that Wargaming got rid of the nonsense that came with it. Most of it, at least. But do such changes really matter when the bigger chunk of the community doesn't even want Reforged to start with?
I don't care who
Wargaming
sends, I am not
downloading Reforged.
Well, it seems I'm going to be the devil's advocate today, because what if I told you that Reforged is not only necessary, but there's no way World of Tanks Blitz would survive without it? Sounds like insanity, doesn't it? Well, it's not. Now, before I explain things, I need you to turn off the engines and get comfy. Because right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going through a bit of Blitz history telling. It all started 13 years ago. After seeing how huge of a success World of Tanks PC was, Wargaming decided to expand their field of operations to mobile devices. But before the World of Tanks mobile could have been made, the company needed a game engine to run it on. The engine needed to be lightweight, well optimized for iOS and Android, and allow for cross-platform multiplayer, which simply wasn't the case with the big world engine that the PC version used. And so Wargaming worked with Dava Consulting, a company that specialized in mobile game technology. This partnership gave birth to the Dava engine, the game engine that Blitz has been running on for 12 years now. Throughout the years, the game has had many ups and downs, most of which are a direct reason to why Reforged is a thing. And no, this is one of the few times that Wargaming's greed is not a problem. So let's start with the main reason, shall we? The Dava engine is getting old, and just like any other tech, the older it gets, the less people know how to maintain and develop it. As for developers that Wargaming already had, most of them have either stayed in Russia to work on the Russian version of the game, aka Lesta Blitz, or left the company to work on their own projects, which led to some of them getting sued for allegedly using some of the old Dava engine codes to make their game. Now one might ask, why doesn't Wargaming just contact Lesta to get some help, since their version of the game looks insanely better compared to Blitz? Well, the answer would be politics. You see, when Wargaming condemned the special military operation and left Russia, they transferred everything there to Lesta as a way to protect their employees and assets. The Lesta team made some huge improvements to the Dava engine over the years, but in 2025, the Russian government decided to confiscate Lesta's shares and nationalize the studio. I wonder how Soviet bias is affecting it now. Alright, so with Lesta Blitz out of the picture, why doesn't Wargaming just make some of their employees learn to use the Dava engine? Well, I'm not sure if they did, but it would take way too long for someone to learn how the engine works, let alone master it well enough to improve it. That combined with the fact that the main purpose of Reforged is upgrading visuals, physics, and cross-platform scalability, which means the Dava engine needs some heavy changes in order to make such improvements possible, which really isn't worth it if you think about it, not only because of the lack of devs, but also due to the engine's limits. That's probably why the Blitz team went with the Unreal Engine. Definitely the best choice when it comes to graphics and ease of use, but as everyone has noticed in the open tests, it's also a little tricky when it comes to optimization. Let's just say the faster they get the hang of it, the less risk the game and its community face. Especially now that the devs can put all their focus on development instead of trying to keep the old Dava up to date. Alright, so I hope this was an informative video, straightforward and not so confusing. Feel free to tell me what's on your mind down in the comments, and goodbye for now.